Yes guys, how's everyone doing? Welcome back to the channel where it is time for match week number 2 of the 21-22 Scottish Premiership season. Now let's have a quick look at how everyone did in match week number 1. I had a good week actually. I got 6 points, one perfect score and 3 outcomes. That was the Rangers 3, Livingston 0. So that was a good start to the week for me. But somebody did meet me in the comments, and it was our good friend Reese Russell who got 8 points, including 2 perfect scores and 2 correct results. So very, very well done, Reese. In fact, scores were pretty good actually. There were a couple of fives, a couple of sixes, 1 7, a couple of fours, and a couple of threes as well. So we move on to match week number 2, and some very, very interesting games. And it does start on Saturday lunchtime, which is Dundee United against Rangers. The last 5 meetings in the Premiership, 3 wins to Rangers and 2 wins to Dundee United. The last result was a 2-1 win to Rangers. What you can say about Dundee United is that, yes, it was a poor result against Aberdeen. However, they did have a couple of chances, but they never really threatened Aberdeen. I think that was the most disappointing thing. And Tam Curtis is playing a back 5. Now, that really doesn't strike me as a Dundee United formation, a back 5. It really, really doesn't. I think it hampers their attacking players. It's too defensive as well, and they were caught out by 2 very good goals from Aberdeen. Obviously, the first one's a long ball from Lewis Ferguson. Johnny Hayes goes onto it. Siegrist does his best to try and save it, but it was a very good goal from Johnny Hayes, and then a very good passage of play, and then Christian Ramirez finds himself unmarked. It's very poor defending from Dundee United, and Dundee United lose 2-0 to Aberdeen. And yes, it might not be the best start for Tam Kurtz, but this is a big game actually, because Rangers lost 2-1 in Malmo last night. Bit of a surprise actually. They didn't play very, very well. 2 quick-fire goals in the 47th and 49th minute. Actually won the game for Malmo. Stephen Davis did pull a consolation back very late on as well. So, but what you can say, Rangers really never got out of second gear against Livingston. They were good. They were very good. Had a few chances. Obviously, Hadji scored in the first half. Very lovely ball from Tavernier. Hadji gets it, turns onto it into the back of the net. And then actually you have to say that it was all one-way traffic really. Livingston did actually only have 1 shot on goal, and it was a Jack Hamilton effort as well. But Fashion Sakala played very, very well. Stephen Davis fantastic. Tavernier fantastic. Bassey's not quite Borna Barisic. A couple of times he could have crossed. He kind of waited, and every time he seemed to pass it, seemed to go out of place. So that's something he needs to work on. But into the second half, Scott Wright came on for the injured Hadji. Fantastic strike outside of the right foot, arrowing into the corner past Striak, who, to be fair, had a very good game for Livingston. And then the third goal, it's very poor defending from Livingston, but Keem Aroof is onto it like a poacher, and he scores the third goal to make it a 3-0 win to Rangers. So my prediction for this one, I can only see Rangers going to Dundee United and winning. In all honesty, I honestly can see United on the end of another defeat, and I think Rangers will win this one pretty comfortably. I am going for Dundee United 0, Rangers 2. I think it's going to be a bit of a long afternoon for Dundee United there as well. So we move on to St Mirren against Hart. The last 5 meetings in the Premiership, 2 wins to St Mirren, 2 draws and 1 win to the Jambos, and the last result was a 1-0 win to St Mirren. St Mirren in a bit of a topsy-turvy game, you'd have to say, against Dundee. Obviously took the lead, very good header from Eamon Brophy. Obviously Dundee did get the equaliser courtesy of a Joe O'Shaughnessy own goal as well. And then, they go ahead. It was a debatable penalty, you'd have to say. Very, very, not much contact, I don't think. Jason Cummings, you can see what he's trying to do. He's trying to go in and win the ball. But no, not for me. Not a penalty. But Jamie McGrath puts it past the Dundee keeper, and then Jason Cummings scores the equaliser. So it was a very, very good game, actually. St Mirren played really, really well. Managed to get 2 goals as well, which is always a good thing. But I think they'll be kicking themselves. I think it's one of those games where they did go ahead twice, but they do feel that they should probably have done better. They should have probably done better as well. But that was a good result for St Mirren. Tricky place to go to, Dens Park as well, so it was a very good result for them. Hearts started the season with a 2-1 win over Celtic. Yeah, everyone jokes about the fact Hearts always seem to get Celtic first in the Premiership or the League Cup, Scottish Cup. But they were very, very good. Very, very good. Hearts took the lead through very good play from Liam Boyce. He plays it into Gary Mackay-Steven, and Gary Mackay-Steven has an open net. I don't know what Scott Bain or the defenders were doing. Really, really poor defending from Celtic. And then Celtic equalised through Anthony Ralston, who was on loan at St Johnstone a couple of seasons back as well. I think it was last season as well. He scores a very good finish. Played in by Edward. Tricks and turns past a couple of Hearts players and fires into the corner, which was a very, very good goal as well. And then Hearts win it with a very good free kick. Halliday into Suter. You can question the goalkeeper. You can question the goalkeeping position at Celtic. But yeah, it was a very good header from John Suter, and that wins the game 2-1. And then Craig Gordon. I still don't understand why Celtic let him go back to Hearts, in all honesty. But you have to say that it was a cracking double save to keep Hearts in the game and to win that game by 2-1. He was the reason that they won that game. Really, really good performance. Also, the new guy from Everton, Benny Banagaby, I thought he was absolutely fantastic in his first game. Did tire towards a little bit towards the end, but you have to say it was a very good performance from Hearts, and they'll be hoping to have better. They'll be hoping to have a better season than obviously the last time they were in the Premiership. So my prediction for this one, this is a very hard one to call, because St Mirren do have a good record against Hearts. Hearts haven't got a very good record at St Mirren. But I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. I'm going to go for a draw on this one. I think it'll be a very, very tight game. I expect a couple of goals in this one, but I'm going to go for 1-1 draw between St Mirren and Hearts. So that takes the Saturday games taken care of. Yeah, there's only 2 Saturday games because Celtic, Hibs, Aberdeen and St Johnstone are all involved in European action on Thursday. So that is why we have 4 games on the Sunday. So beginning with Celtic Park, it is Celtic against Dundee. Last 5 meetings, 4 wins to Celtic and 1 draw. The last result was a 3-0 win to Celtic. Celtic, I think it was the best time to play them, in all honesty. Celtic are not doing great. They're not doing great. I do worry for them. I do worry about the fact that Scott Bain in the Celtic goal. Scott Bain should never be in the Celtic goal in the first place. Look, definitely not. They've now signed Joe Hart. I think that's a very good signing. Yes, he hasn't been at his best recently, but a move to Celtic is very, very good. And James McCarthy is back in Scotland as well. After being in obviously the Hamilton youth setup, going to obviously teams like Wigan, Crystal Palace and Everton, and now he is back in Scotland as well. But they need to get Edward away. I saw a couple of times in that game against Hearts that just looks disinterested. Yes, I know he played in the assist for Ralston's goal, but even then, I don't see Edward being at Celtic next season. I really don't. I don't see him being there this season anyway. I think a deal might be struck with potentially a Premier League club. Brighton have been interested in Edward. as well. But Joe Hart, very good signing, and I think Celtic will do a lot better in this game against Dundee, because against Hearts they were terrible. I thought they were very poor. Yes, they had more possession, but even then, they came up against a very good Craig Gordon in the end. But defensively, they were shocking. Really poor defensively. Dundee have on the back of a 2-2 draw with St Mirren. It was a good performance from Dundee, actually. Good wee match as well. Shout out to Hammy HD as well. Big Dundee fan. He was at the game against St Mirren, and it was a very good game for him. I will leave his vlog in the description down below for you to go and have a look at. Dundee were reduced to 10 men as well. It is a red card, I'm afraid. You can see what he was trying to do. He was trying to get the ball, but he does catch the man. And I do think it was a red card, unfortunately, for Dundee. But if Jason Cummings can keep firing as well, I think he'll be absolutely fine. Jason Cummings has started the season very well. So my prediction, I know Celtic are in European action this week, but it's a tricky one. It's a very tricky game to predict because Dundee will make it very tricky for Celtic. Dundee fans will think it's a very good idea for them to go to Celtic and maybe get something from that. But then again, fans back in Parkhead, I think that will G Celtic on to get the win. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Celtic. I think Celtic will just scrape through against Dundee. I think Dundee will make it very difficult for them. But we'll see what happens in that one. Will Joe Hart make his debut? That could be interesting as well. Joe Hart make his Celtic debut. We shall see. But Celtic 2, Dundee 1. And now we have Hibs against Ross County at Easter Road. The last 5 meetings in the Premiership. 2 wins to Hibs, 2 wins to Ross County and 1 draw. Very evenly matched. And the last result was a 2-0 win to Ross County. Well, Hibs, as we have said, they are in European action on Thursday in Croatia against NK Rijeka. I think that's how you pronounce it anyway. But what I will say, Hibs were involved in an absolute thriller against Motherwell. 1-0 down. Kevin Van Veen, it's poor defending from Hibs again. That is their Achilles heel, is defending crosses into the box. Kevin Van Veen gets his head on it, goes past Matt Macy. That was 1-0. And then Hibs do get the equaliser as well. It was a bit of stramash in the box, and it comes to Kyle McGuinness, who does put the ball into the back of the net. Very good finish there. Then Motherwell go back into the lead with a header from Bevis Mugabe. Very good header to make that 2-1. And then it was an equaliser from Christian Doige. Kevin Nisbet does really well, to be fair. Twists, turns into the box, hits the post, and Christian Doige is on there to get the equaliser. And then a penalty from Martin Boyle gets Hibs to win by 3-2. So a very good win for the Hibees. But Hibs fans will be hoping that they don't play many games like that again. Anyway, but it was a good win for Jack Ross. The one thing from Hibs, though, it looks like Josh Doig is going to be leaving the club. It looks like I think it's Watford, Burnley, West Ham. I think those 3 are wanting him. I think there's another couple potentially wanting him as well. But if Josh Doig does go, I think he'll be a good signing for anybody. He's a very good left back. He's the best young player last season as well. So it's a good move for him. So I'm looking forward to see what he can do. That is for sure. Ross County on the back of a 0-0 draw with St Johnstone. Both sides had chances. It wasn't the most entertaining of games, but it wasn't the most boring of 0-0s. There were a couple of chances in there. Obviously, St Johnstone missed a penalty. Cole Donaldson is the wrong side of the St Johnstone player, and it is a penalty. And then Ali McCann steps up, and I think that ball's still travelling because it does go over the bar. But to be fair, Ross County did actually get a good result against St Johnstone. I didn't expect them to get a result. Yes, I know I predicted them to get a draw, but even then, I think you would probably expected St Johnstone to go up there and win. So it's a good start for Malky Mackay, but he has to build on this, and I do think that it could be a hard game, this one. But I am going to go for a Hibs win. I think Hibs will be back to winning. They will be 2 out of 2 for me. I'm going Hibs 2, Ross County 0 in that one. And now at the Tony Macaroni Arena, still can't believe it's called that. Livingston against Aberdeen. We have now 1 win to Livy, 2 draws and 2 wins to Aberdeen. The last result was a 2-1 win to Aberdeen. Well, that was to be expected, wasn't it? It was to be expected that we lost to Rangers. Not too surprising, really. 3-0 in the end. I do think Striak had a very good game as well. Adam Lewis, I think he was a bit lucky to stay on the pitch. He's obviously got Hadji injured. It was a poor challenge as well. I thought Nicky Devlin was a little bit lucky as well when he kicked out at Calvin Bassey as well. But even then, I thought we defended well. I thought we defended okay to a point, but the 3 goals that we conceded are really poor defensively. But we managed to keep the score down. We did manage to keep the score down, and Striak did manage to keep the score down as well. It has come at a cost, though. Jack McMillan is out for 4 months. He's got a fractured kneecap. Apparently, he was playing against Rangers with a fractured kneecap. So that's a huge blow, because I thought he actually had a pretty good game at right back. And Jays Cabia now is out for 6 to 8 weeks as well. So 2 big blows for Livingston. But they've got cover. They've got cover there. They've got Alan Forrest. They have Andrew Shinnie. And they have Josh Mullen as well. So, and obviously Nicky Devlin is right back as well. So it's not come at a cost. But it was a very, very poor performance. But not everybody. The Livingston season will not be decided with games against Rangers, Celtic. It will not be decided. It will be against the likes of Dundee, Dundee United, St Mirren, St Johnstone, Motherwell, Ross County. So there you go. Aberdeen, a good 2-0 win over Dundee United. Christian Ramirez. I said this in my predicted table video. I do feel he's going to have a good season this season. I do think he's going to score goals. And J. Emmanuel Thomas will be returning to Livingston, as will Declan Gallagher as well. So it's a very, very interesting game. Aberdeen obviously in European action on Thursday, so good luck to Aberdeen. Good luck to all the Scottish teams. As well in Conference League action and Europa League action as well. So my prediction for this one, I do think, as obviously if Aberdeen have been in Europe, that I do think that they might rotate their team. But I am going to go for a 1-1 draw. I think Livingston can get something out of this game. I'm going 1-1 draw between Livingston and Aberdeen. And now we have St Johnstone against Motherwell to round things off. 3 wins to Saints, 1 win to Motherwell and 1 draw. The last result was a 1-1 draw. St Johnstone, they'll feel they should have won that game. 0-0 in the end. Ali McCann missed a penalty. So not good for Callum Davison's side. But you have to say St Johnstone did play well. They did play well in that game. There were, as I said, they did have a couple of chances to put the game to bed. But then again, Ross County did have a good couple of chances to put the game to bed as well. St Johnstone have an absolutely it's a hard opponent anyway. Galatasaray in the conference. They've got Galatasaray in Europe. I mean, wow, that is quite something, actually. Quite something, that. So good luck to St Johnstone. I think they'll need it, but it's a very tricky game. Very tricky game to try and get anything out of that. If they manage to win that, I'll be amazed. But good luck to St Johnstone as well. Motherwell starting off with a 3-2 defeat to Hibs. I think the more worrying thing for Motherwell is not the fact that they scored goals. Not the fact that they scored goals. Now, that's excellent. It's defending. Defensively, they look really, really bad. Definitely missing Alan Campbell in that midfield. But then again, it looks like they have replaced, Chris Long in Kevin Van Veen, who looks a very good signing for Motherwell. But I do think Motherwell will. I mean, I predicted Motherwell to finish 5th. So hopefully they will do that. But we are only one game into the season, so there's only, we are going to be into 2 games into the season anyway. But this game, I am thinking that St Johnstone will scrape this one. I'm going to go for a 1-0 win to St Johnstone in that one. So that is it. That is Matchweek number 2 predictions done and dusted. As always, leave your predictions in the comment section down below, and like Reese Russell, you will get a shout out in the next video. So I will go for our predictions very, very quickly. So the 2 games on Saturday: Dundee United 0, Rangers 2, St Mirren 1, Hearts 1. And the 4 games on Sunday: Celtic 2, Dundee 1, Hibs 2, Ross County 0, Livingston 1, Aberdeen 1, and St Johnstone 1, Motherwell 0. So that is it. That is my Match Week 2 predictions done and dusted, as we have said. Leave your predictions in the comment section down below. And thank you to all who tuned in to the last video. There were a lot of predictions actually, so hopefully, uploading every Wednesday, we will get a few of you to predict these games. And thank you very much to everyone who has watched the predictions video as well. It's doing very, very well for views, and I do appreciate it, everyone, as well. But until then, it's goodbye from me. If you do like the content, please hit that subscribe button, drop a like on the video as well. And yeah, leave your predictions. Match week 2 should be very, very interesting. Dundee United Rangers, Celtic Dundee. Some good games in there. And I'll see you all in the next video. Take care, everyone. Bye bye for now. Enjoy your Match Week 2. Some very good games ahead. See you later. Bye bye.